This is Abhinay from Del Trifecta and you're watching the Daily Football News. Let's begin. We start off with some management news. Now, Jose Amir Baquero and Guillermo Amor, two members of the great Barcelona team under Johan Cruyff, have been given the responsibility of shaping the futures of young stars at Barcelona. The duo will be responsible for Barcelona B team as well as the under-19s A and B team of the club. To be more specific, they will be dealing with the transfer activities of these teams as well as negotiating the player contracts of the players. They will be succeeding former academy chief Pep Seguera as he was promoted to general manager last week. It is always a good idea to have former players to be involved in the club setup, be it with the youth team or the main team. And Pep Guardiola is a prime example of this. Now, given the fact that these two were part of one of the most legendary teams to have ever graced the world of football, it is an even better idea. Moving on. Now, Juventus have said that they will not be accepting a penny less than at least £66 million for their Brazilian left back Sandro. Now, Chelsea and PSG are preparing for a bidding war for the player, but according to Tuttosport, Juventus do not plan to sell the player, and that is why they have kept on increasing the price of the player time and again. Now, while Chelsea and PSG prepare to bid for the player, it has been reported that Juventus have offered him a new contract which runs till 2022 and has apparently doubled his current salary. Now, to be honest, it looks like Chelsea and PSG are absolutely wasting their time pursuing Sandro, as Juventus have zero intention to sell, otherwise they wouldn't have kept on increasing the price time and again. It is better off that Chelsea and PSG look for options elsewhere, or else two things might happen. The first, that they might end up paying an insane amount of money for a left back, or else they might run out of time to pursue some other target which might have been cheaper and better in the long run. Moving back to Spanish football. Now, Spanish side Atletico Madrid have reported to have agreed a move for Monaco star Fabinho when the transfer ban ends in January. The fees is reported to be around £40 million. This has been reported by RS reporter Robbie Dunn, who works for a media outlet in Spain. Now, this obviously cannot be confirmed officially by either clubs and won't be until January 2018. So people, please keep your schedules open for January. Now, there were reports earlier that Fabinho was a favourite to join Manchester United and Mourinho was extremely keen on the Brazilian. But after some time, all those reports died down and eventually it was said that Mourinho or Manchester United were never really interested in the man. Now, the current rumors that are circulating in the newspapers is that Manchester United will bid a lot of money for Eric Dyer, the Tottenham Hotspur player, while also linking them with Chelsea target Bakayoko. So whatever the media outlets might say about the transfer targets of Manchester United, even the most optimistic fans won't be hoping that Fabinho, Dyer or Bakayoko will join the club eventually. Staying on with Spanish football, Real Madrid have completed the signing of Theo Hernandez, the 19-year-old left back from city rivals Atletico Madrid. The fees is believed to be around £24 million. Now, the player was at loan to Alaves last season and earned some rave reviews for his performances, which prompted the Madrid club to buy the player as soon as possible. It is a known fact that Hernandez idolizes Marcelo, the current left back, and it is a little bit ironic that Marcelo will be the player that Hernandez looks to dislodge in the next season. Now, manager Zinedine Zidane has obviously, without a shadow of a doubt, bought the player to eventually replace the Brazilian, who is at the moment 29. Now, Hernandez might have earned rave reviews with his performances last season, but Marcelo is regarded, and rightly so, the best left back in the world right now. And it will take a lot of time for Hernandez to actually dislodge Marcelo off his starting place. But given the fact that he's just 19, he has age on his side, and Marcelo is 29 and will play at the top level for say 2 or 3 years max, which will give Hernandez enough chance to learn from him and eventually replace him. Moving on, young Dutch fullback Kenny Tate has joined Lyon from his boyhood club Ajax for a fees of around £2.6 million. It was believed that Italian giants Inter Milan and Juventus were also interested in the player, but Lyon beat them to the punch. Young fullback only featured 5 times for Ajax in the Eredivisie last season, whereas he featured 8 times for them in the Europa League. Now, he was also part of the squad that faced Manchester United in the Europa League final last season but did not get to play a single minute. Now, let's be fair to both the club and the young player. Now, for Lyon, this is effectively an investment to replace their eventual right back, Rafael da Silva. Now for Tate, this will be a valuable experience as he trades the bench of Ajax for the bench of Lyon. Finally, back to Spanish football but with a hint of Indian spice. Now, Atletico Madrid, the Spanish club, have severed their 3-year partnership with Indian Super League side Atletico de Kolkata. The 3-year partnership between the two sides led to 2 titles for the Kolkata franchise. Now each party is blaming the other for the exit. The Spanish club say that even though India is an extremely important country, while Kolkata is a dear city, they needed to develop their existence in the country, and that was not happening with the Kolkata franchise. Now Sanjeev Goenka, the majority stakeholder in the franchise, on the other hand says that some financial commitments were not met by the Spanish club and that is why the ties had to be severed. He also said that the club were not valuable enough and were only interested in developing and increasing the popularity of their brand in India rather than helping the franchise. Anyways, what's done is done. Now hopefully the Kolkata franchise, which will probably be renamed again, will go on to win another title and be linked with another European club and hopefully for the better of Indian football. That is it for today's edition of the Football News. Please share your views in the comment section, and if you like the video, press the button on the left. If you are new to the channel, please press the subscribe button on the right. Until next time, this is goodbye.